Hey, Tube, what's going on? Chris here. Want to bring y'all an update on Bitcoin today. We're going to look at XRP and EOS. So those are the three I'm going to cover. And today what I really want to do, guys, I'm going to throw on my moving averages here in a minute, but I just really strictly wanted to look at price action. And what we're going to do, even with Bitcoin, we're going to get into like the 4-hour and even the 1-hour chart. So we're going to start looking through some different time frames at Bitcoin. Then we'll get into XRP and we'll get into EOS. So if you guys like these videos, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. I appreciate you all being here with me today. It's October 7th, 2019. It's 12:40 p.m. Eastern time. So I want to put that out there as well for you. So guys, what we're looking at here is basically a very strong defense of this $7,758. And what happened was we tweezer bottomed down here twice, guys. So we got pushed down here, right? And we ended up making it to around that 7,758. We pushed back up, we came back down, and there was our other tweezer. So we tweezer bottomed right down in here. We saw a nice strong defense. What happened was, guys, we pushed up to my alarm. I had an alarm here at 8,423. What happened after that was we got pushed back down, but what we saw is another defense of this area again. And right now, if we were to close with this candle right here, it would be a bullish engulfing candle. The only problem is, guys, we still have about 7 hours till the close. So I want you to be aware that anything can happen during this time. But if we were to get that close, that would be a nice sign that that 7,758 is being defended, that these tweezer bottoms were truthful right here. And what we're going to do is see if we can go up and try to get over that 8,423. Because what I'm still looking for, guys, is to see if we're going to back test the breakout down through this descending triangle. And remember, with descending triangles, you're always going to have those lower highs and then you're going to have that flat bottom. And guys, about 65% of the time they're going to break out to the downside, but you always have that possibility of it breaking to the upside or a busted pattern. So what I would want to see, guys, is if we come back up here and what we do with this area right here, and this is going to be around $9,300, and that's where we broke out. And we broke out on one very long candle, and guys, it happened in less than an hour. And that's why this market is difficult to trade, is just due to the fact a lot of times when these big explosive moves happen, you have to be right at your computer, or you have to have your buys or your sells in order, just for the simple fact it happens so fast on a candle, and then a lot of times we'll move sideways for quite a while. So you do have to be aware of that. Now, in terms of this here, guys, though, I want to just throw on our 200-day EMA. And with our 200-day EMA, this is going to be my first target. So number one, we need to get over the 8,423. Then it's going to be that 200-day moving average. And I want to see what we do with it. We've been trapped underneath it now for almost 2 weeks. And we've been getting pretty comfortable with candle closes below it. And remember, that's never a good thing if you want to be in a bull market, to be underneath the 200-day moving average. I'm glad we're moving up today. We're up, 4.58%. We're at 8,218, but we still have some key areas to break up through. Otherwise, this could just be basically relieving the RSI a little bit, and then we could go down for an even farther drop. So I do want you to be aware of this 200-day moving average acting as overhead resistance. So let me get this back off, guys. We're going to flip through the time frames here. Let's go into the 4-hour and see how it's looking. And just like this, guys, like I was talking about, do you see this candle? I mean, it was basically one massive candle right here where we ended up going from, let's see, the high of the wick was around $9,500 all the way down to 8,173 in one candle. That's how significant these moves are. So you really have to try to plan for them the best you can. Always have a plan for the upside and the downside. Now, in terms of the 4-hour, we're defending this bottom here. But what needs to happen, guys, we still got to get up over this area at that 8,423. Because what's happened is we want to get into the pattern of start having higher highs and higher lows again. So we need to break this previous high. And what I like to do is go off the real bodies. That's why I have my alarm or my alert right there on the 4-hour here. And then the next one I want to get into is the 1-hour chart. With the 1-hour, you can see some really nice volume did come in here, though, guys, so that's a good thing. Same deal. Right now, we're sitting at an overhead resistance area. That's going to be around 8,213. Then the next stop I would look at would probably be, guys, up here around that 8,373. Now, if we go back to the 1 day, I wanted to look at just a couple indicators on Bitcoin here. Then we'll move on to XRP. So with our indicators, what I wanted to point out to you, we're going to take a look at our MACD first. MACD, guys, it looks like we're really trying hard to get this bullish cross. It has not happened yet, so it is not confirmed yet, but we're trying. We started to have this histogram ticking up now, trying to turn over to the positive, so that would be a good thing. But pay attention to this MACD cross. Let's see if we can get a nice cross to the upside. We have not had an upside cross since the 2nd of September 2019. So I think that would be significant for us to maybe come back up here and try to test the bottom of this descending triangle. And sometimes, guys, they're called busted patterns. So you can come down here for a while and then you can actually come back up. And if we are able to break out through this upper trend line, then we can really run hard and fast. You can run up to 60% if we're to have a busted descended triangle and we start moving back to the upside. So keep that on your radar. Next one I wanted to look at was our stock RSI. With our stock RSI, we're looking good right now. We're at 55 and 41. We're pointing north, moving up right there. We had a nice bullish cross, so we'll have to keep our eye on that. And then the last one I'll do here is our RSI, just see where we're at, see if we can get up above that 40. 40 is a big deal, guys, on the RSI. A lot of times it can act as pretty strong overhead resistance. But what we had was some slight divergence here. Our price was about the same, but we were starting to get a higher low here on our RSI, trying to move back up. We're at 36 right now, so we're still below that crucial 40 number. We need to get up above that and start having candle closes up above that. That's what I'm looking for. But in terms of the candle close today, guys, if we could get this same candle close right here, if all of a sudden this is how we close, that would be a nice sign that maybe that's our bullish engulfing candle and we can start coming up here trying to make a higher high than this previous area of around 8,423. So that's Bitcoin. That's what I'm looking at there. The next one we're going to get into is XRP. And guys, XRP is one I've really been looking at here. You can see quite a few videos that I've done on it, especially XRP BTC was looking really good. So I wanted to point that out. If you haven't checked out the video, I'll put it up in the cards here for you all. But what's happening with XRP now, I want to throw on our 50-day moving average. We're up above the 50-day moving average, which is significant. Now, over here, we got up above it for about, a couple days. We had a really nice, strong candle here, and then Bitcoin dumped, and we started to fall back down through it, which was the trouble. You know how correlated we are to Bitcoin and everything. Bitcoin dumped, we started to get pulled down. But XRP right now is at 27 cents. We're up 9.34%, so we are starting to get that little pump here that we're looking for, and we want to get a candle close up above this 50-day moving average today. The next one I want to look at is our 20-day EMA. We're up above our 20-day EMA, which is in orange, which is a tough one to get up above, guys. You can see for the longest time we were ridden by it. Each time, guys, would just short off it. That was a very strong one. Next one, we're going to look at our 10 EMA, and we're up above that. And what I like to look for is a potential cross of this 10 over top of the 20 and then ultimately over this 50, which that's looking like it may be a possibility, guys. This is a really nice strong candle coming in here. As long as we can close like that today, that's going to be the biggest thing for us. We don't want to be left with some huge wick and all of a sudden we're back below the 50-day moving average. Then we could start getting in some trouble. And then ultimately the 200-day moving average is what we're looking at. And guys, that's going to be all the way up to where we almost tested it before. For us, it's going to be at we'll call it 32 cents. It's at 31.8 right now, but we'll call it 32 cents is what we're going to need to get back up above. And that's going to start confirming that we're back in that bull market, guys. Whenever you're trading below the 200-day moving average, you really have to pay attention to that. It can act as very strong overhead resistance. So you have to be aware. But the nice thing is we have a nice little bit of room to run here. If we are to close where we're at now, we could come up here and test this high, which is going to be around 31 cents. And what I like to do is throw a price range on here. So say, guys, you were to jump in here and we did end up going up to that area, that's going to be about a 12% gain if we do continue this. Now, what a lot of guys will do, they'll end up taking a long here. So let me show this for you guys. We'll do a long position. So say you were in right here, and what we like to look at is risk to reward. And we say, all right, is it worth it or not? And that's what I wanted to point out right here. So we move this over. Our stop loss, guys, I would put it at the bottom of the candle that just formed, and that's just me personally, because if we start breaking down through there and falling, then most likely we'd start going down lower. And then what we would do is try to target up here to where we had our candle closes right there. And guys, see what's tough about this is our risk to reward is a 1.3, and I'm not really in the business of taking a 1.3 risk to reward. What I want in terms of a risk to reward is something like a 3 to 1, 4 to 1, somewhere in that range. Now, if you started to bring it up a little higher and maybe target that 200-day moving average, that'll give you a slightly better reward. We're at 1.42, but right now, guys, I just really want to see where the candle ends up closing today. I jumped into a position, guys, once we started this candle right here. Once we had this close over the 10 is where I ended up jumping in, and that was at 25 cents. So right now, I'm just trying to protect my profit. I'm sitting where I put in a break-even stop, and I just want to see where we end up going if we're really going to get a true push to the upside for XRP. Next for XRP, I wanted to go into just a few indicators for us. And what we're trying to break here, guys, we're having lower highs and lower lows. We're trying to break that. We want to start having those higher highs and higher lows when we're having those pullbacks at a real nice higher low is what we're going to be paying attention to. So let's go to our MACD on XRP. XRP, we're getting a bullish cross right there, which is really nice on the one-day chart for XRP. So that's looking good there, guys. That's awesome. Next one, let's go to our relative strength index, and you tell me what you're doing. Have you been in a position for XRP? Are you looking at positions? Are you waiting until we get back up above that 200-day moving average? Leave it down low, guys. Let me know what's happening. So RSI is looking strong. We're at 59 right now. We're pushing up. We have plenty more room to run to the upside if we want to keep this moving, so that's good. We're not in overbought territory. And then we'll look at here our stock RSI. Let's pay attention to that. Now we're starting to get a little bit more in the overbought territory for the stock. Remember, you can stay there for quite a while. We're at 92 and 75. So I just want to point that out. Hopefully you ended up jumping in, guys, when I was pointing out that XRP BTC little move that we were having and starting to get some of those moving average crosses is what I was looking at. So want to put that on your radar. The next one we're going to go to, and if you like me doing XRP, guys, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and we'll do EOS here. Let me find it. Guys, I also have a lot of stocks in here as well that I look at. So EOS is making a nice little move here. We're back to $3.24. We're up 11.51%. Looking good right there. Let me get this out of the way here. So the challenge that we're going to have is the 50-day moving average for EOS. We're up above the 10. We're up above the 20. And remember, we need a candle close up above those, guys, because the previous day we did not have a candle close up above this 10 or that 20. So that's what we're going to look for today. We want it to come on strong volume, and then we're going to look to see what we do with this overhead resistance of that 50-day moving average. It's really acted as strong resistance for us. So, guys, we are slightly up above it here. We started to reverse the trend here in the short term. We had a high here, then we had our higher low, higher high, and then Bitcoin dumped, and that's when we fell because it looked like we were getting a nice candle close up above the 50. Everything was looking good there, guys, and then all of a sudden we just started to fall to the downside. So we're trying to reverse this, but in terms of the 50-day moving average, for the most part, besides that little area, we've been below it since the 28th of June. So if we can start having candle closes, serious ones up above this with volume, guys, we could really start to reverse this. And that's what needs to happen. You know, you're trying to identify trends. Do you see over here how we're having higher highs and higher lows, and we're obeying this 50-day moving average? That's why I keep pointing it out to you all, because even say you bought on confirmation when you're up above the 50-day moving average, you would have bought in at around $2.88. We would have sold out here at $6.64 when we broke down through this 50-day moving average. That is immense gains, guys. Those are the gains that you're looking for. So that's what we're trying to do. Again, we're trying to change the trend to higher highs and higher lows. That's what we need to see, guys. And so far, we are just in this downtrend. So if we come up here and we put in a lower high, that might not be the best news, because then we could look down to even set a lower low, which we don't want to do. But what we're going to get into next is a few indicators for us, and we did have that death cross of that 50 down through that 200. While over here, we had the 50 crossing up over the 200. Then we got a nice little push to the upside. So we need to pay attention to that. Let's check out our MACD. And with our MACD, guys, that's looking good. It's looking like we want a nice little bullish cross there. Histogram's ticking to the positive, so that's not looking too bad. Remember, this is on the one-day chart. And then we'll look at our relative strength index. Relative strength's pointing up. We're at 48 right now, so plenty of room to run. The next overhead resistance we'd have there on the RSI is going to be around 65 on the RSI. And then let's go to our stock. And what I really like to do is pay attention to price action, guys. I'm more so price action than I am indicators. I'll throw indicators on to confirm what I'm seeing with the price action in the moving average, because I always want confirmation if I'm going to be jumping into a trade. So here we're moving north, guys. That's looking good. We're at 72 and 56 right there, so there's still more room to run to the upside. As you can see, we've been pegged out around 99 and 100 up here for quite a while before that happens a lot of time on the stock. It's a faster moving indicator for us, so we do need to pay attention to that. And then, guys, I want to do the awesome oscillator with you here as well. Just see what that's looking like. It's looking like we're starting to get a little bit of a tick here to the positive, which would be a good thing, is what we want to see. We want to see it roll over and then start making moves to the upside, just like we had over here. Do you see that, how it went from the negative to the positive? So that is an indicator that I like to pay attention to. Same thing over here, guys, when we're in that deep downtrend there. You can see here, and then it started to reverse with this oscillator, and then we just started to move up, and this was almost like our accumulation zone that we were looking at. So guys, that's what I wanted to bring to you. I didn't want to make it too long here. Hopefully I didn't ramble too long, but if you like these, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Let's just pay very close attention. We don't know if today's just going to be some type of little relief and then we're going to get slammed back down again, but really wait for that confirmation. Plan your trade your plan. That's what you need to do, guys. Always have a plan. So that's what I wanted to bring to you today. God bless each and every one of you. Take care.